on, Capri? Welcome to episode 155 of We the GamerCast. It comes to you usually every Monday on iTunes and Google Podcasts every Monday and youtube.com/WeTheNerdy. But today is Thursday, a very special Patreon-powered bonus episode that you're not going to want to miss, and you're not missing it because you're here. So thank you for subscribing and hitting thumbs up. Lincoln is right here on my lap, and he's wearing a cute set of headphones that are sliding off of his head. Him and I are having a great time, having fun recording some father-son. Right, buddy? He's just so fun. And all of this is thanks to, well, you really did nothing to make this happen, Lincoln, but I'm having a good time. But it's, did you know, Lincoln, that you, yes, Lincoln, you could go to patreon.com/makeusbetter and make us all better. Like all the people over there, especially our platinum executive producer, Mr. Corey Hicks, at twitch.tv/chicks_18, our gold executive producer, Mr. Mark Moody, and the guys from Quest for Pixels, Tony Baker and Sheldon Benedict, and all of our gentlemen executive producers, Mr. Lincoln. They're all gentlemen. Dude427, Martini Jean, Aaron Doherty, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Tim Aulph, and Bobby Miller. Guys, thank you so much. This episode is amazing. Fiona MacKinnon, my fellow Canadian, she is incredible, and we're going to go through a little bit of our E3 predictions and what happened. So we're going to go through the PlayStation one. I'm not going to do like a full episode for each one. I am actually glad that Fiona came on to just catch up for this returning guest bonus episode. We get to go back, and you might remember her from the predictions episodes. And for those of you who've missed, if you joined since then, go back. It's hilarious to listen to how wrong we were. And I'll get to that in just a second. I want to quickly thank Amanda Hicks for being on Monday's episode, and thank everybody for the lovely shout outs and words of support, and Eric Green leaving lovely comments everywhere on my God of War streams. A lot has been going on. But Lincoln, if it's okay with you, I'd like to kind of go through some quick rundown of what happened during the prediction. And I was going to get into that, actually. For those of you watching the video, you'll notice that I've changed and I no longer have Lincoln on my lap. I just did an intro earlier this evening. Lincoln is babbling on and on and on. And you know what, guys? I can't do that to you. I can't have babies on the podcast. Can't, man. He was babbling. It was cute for a second, and then I just couldn't do it. Plus, I actually was going through all of the predictions that we'd done, a month and a half ago or 2 months ago or whatever it was. And as fun as it is to do them, it is like a fraction of the fun to go through like each individual one and then break down the thing of like what points did we get and whatever. Needless to say, nobody really did well at all. I think that's probably the best. The closest was Luke Lohr. I'll put it this way. Luke Lohr was the closest on the Xbox show, saying Gears Not 5, Q4, 2018. So, sort of got it right, where you get the Funko Pop game and then the Tactics game, but not in Q4. So, a lot of technicalities, a lot of fractions of points and everything. We'll get to the PlayStation stuff. It's better as a conversation. We'll put it that way. So, I want to thank Luke Lohr, Mitch Power, Dave Moore for the Xbox show, NintenTalk, Patty Wagon, and Bobby Pauls, the Nintendo guru for the Nintendo show. Steve Tilley and Marissa, my Canadian brethren, Marissa Roberto, for the third-party show. We all did horribly, guys. Actually, it's best that we just get into it with Fiona, because that might be the most interesting as everything turned out. One of the more interesting predictions turned to results. So we'll get into why this formula, this new way of doing E3 predictions, is the new international standard. So if you guys are doing your own shows, I'm sorry, you're already behind. You got to catch up to this new standard because it's amazing. I had such a great time. Thank you to everybody who did these predictions with me. And thank you to you for listening and subscribing and all that stuff. I'm really excited for you guys to hear this one. I love talking to Fiona. Bobby, we need to count. Bobby Pauls, if you're listening. I think Fiona and I discovered that she may be the #1 guest on We the GamerCast. I think she's been on the show more than you. More than Kaylee, even. So why don't we get right into it? You follow her at Zeranix, 2 I's and an X, and with a Z, and a U, and an R, and an A, and an I, and an N, and all the other letters. Fiona MacKinnon, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm so excited.
Oh, no way. Oh, why?
Because I tell everybody, I'm just like, even like I've done like a few podcasts this E3, and I'm like, so I did a predictions cast with Sean Capri. I'm just like, yes. I'm like, this is so good.
Oh,
so I like
man.
everybody.
Fiona, you're one of my favorite people ever. I'm grateful that we got to line this up, and so soon after E3, this is perfect. It only takes us to like schedule something like a month in advance. Felt kind of silly when we did it. It was like June 16th. What? No, that's too far. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I was just like, I know it was this weekend, and I wanted to make sure, and I was just like, I'm not planning anything this Saturday.
Oh, no way.
And I messaged, and like a friend of mine was just like, oh, it's like community day for Pokemon. I'm like, I'll do it after my podcast.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
I'm just like, it's community day on Pokemon, so you get 3 times the Pokemon experience points on Pokemon Go.
Okay, hang on. We should probably like do something right in the middle of this, like, because I've been hooked back again ever since the whole announcement. I'm back, and it's nuts, man. Like, I don't even know why I'm backing, because I have no intention on doing like any gyms, no raids. Like, I have no real aspirations with this. But there's new Pokemon, so I'm excited. I'm not doing rat-a-tat-tat things all the time. Like, what the hell? I just fluked out a nice on that little guy. I just flicked it. I got a nice throw. What do you think about that? And I think I got him. Yep. This is the podcast now. We are Shelder. I got a Shelder. First caught of the day.
Nice.
First throw bonus. Oh man. I also got my Fallout Shelter going, Fiona. Good times. It's good time. I've been waiting. I've been saying for so long, I need something on my phone, because like, as much as I want to play Switch in bed, it's just a little too big. It is. Maybe my Vita. Maybe I should fire up the Vita again. Get some Freedom Wars or something.
I mean, you can get Stardew Valley on the Vita now. So
does it carry over though?
No,
I don't want another. I can't handle another farm.
I don't know, because I only played on the Vita, even though I had it for a PlayStation. So I was just like, oh, I'll just play it like this. But yeah, no, I play Pokemon Go. There is a Pokemon Go version of Jurassic Park, so you can go around and catch dinosaurs.
I downloaded it. Come on, it's right next to it. I even organized it. Wait, there it is.
Yes!
It's right there. I know we're working on different cameras here, so for the audience and for you, there it is. But above it are a bunch of games I'd never get to. Pac-Man 256, I think is great, but I think I'm done with it. Hearthstone, I just never get to.
Neither do I. It's so large. Like, it's just like, do you want to do a 2.5 gigabyte update? I'm like, no. Like, what the fuck?
No, that's my whole phone. Fire Emblem Heroes ran its course for me. I really liked it, and I do get pulled back in every once in a while when I listen to What's Good Games and the what do they call it, the Sexy Casino?
Yep.
Something like that. But man, I part of me says like mobile games just no good, but that's not like wholly true. It's not. It's too general a statement to be true, and it's
right.
It seems kind of bigoted against mobile phones.
I've been playing the Harry Potter game, and I know a lot of people hate it. So I've been playing the Harry Potter mysteries. Apparently, I'm like the farthest that anyone's like that I know in my friend circle, because I'm in almost half, like actually past midway through year 3.
Yep.
Which, that's a lot. Like, I don't know how to explain this to you without pay to win. It's a lot of time.
I'm sure.
I just go to work, and it's just like, do you want to learn how to do Stipendo? And I'm like, of course I fucking do. So I go to class, and then it's just like, do you want to take 1 hour, 3 hours, or 8 hours? And I'm like, I need those house points. So I'm going to do the 8 hours. So like, it's an entire work day. Like, I go on my break, I use all my energy, I go back to work, go on my lunch break, use more energy. And then by the end of the day, you're finished.
I know.
So it's just like, for me, it's okay. But like, if you want to sit down mobile game and then not do, like, be able to play for hours, that's not the game for you.
But I don't want that. I really just want something for, like, you know, the toilet, and like, while I'm just kind of just standing around. Like, I don't know. Like, you always have those moments where, like, I'm in the elevator a lot at work, so I'm like, I'll just catch a Pokemon up in here. I've seen a lot of people catch Pokemons in Pokemons. Pokemon? I don't know what the plural. Pokemon? Yeah, but is it just Pokemon? Like
yeah, just
in
Pokemon.
plural? Yeah, catch them all.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you? You seem great.
I am super great. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep.
That's
and I'm
the
sick.
best. Oh no!
Man. It's just like what is it? Best de resistance. Oh God, whatever. French is hard. So yeah, so I'm sick. I sound a lot better than yesterday, but I just had this congestion for the past 2.5 days, and I'll be like taking these back the entire time. They're Halls, sugar free.
Oh,
Not sponsored, but Halls.
I mean, one day.
Someday.
Why doesn't Halls should be all over podcasts? People talking all day. You gotta like soothe the throat. It just makes sense to me.
Honestly, like sometimes if I'm in a stream, like when I do my extra life stream, I have Halls.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like, so it helps like your throat, because I find that like you're talking so much that you get super like dry, but you don't want to like make like, obviously I'm drinking water. I'm not saying I'm like dehydrating myself, but it just helps, like especially when you're just like trying to talk consistently, just like every so often.
I need to get in a better habit of not having like I've got like every now and then I got to clean this place out because there's just cans of Diet Pepsi just like laying around. Like it's just ridiculous. I look like an old man who like doesn't like experience other drinks. I just go to Costco and I grab a flat of Diet Pepsi and that's all I drink. Like maybe water, just toss it up, like mix it up a little bit. Today I got coffee though.
My old boss is obsessed with Diet Coke. I think it's a Diet Pepsi. I don't remember. Either way, it's a diet thing. And so he like would have bottles on his desk, like empty bottles. And one day he's just like, Fiona, because we have a bunch of phones, obviously, since we work with phones, so we have a bunch of demos that are locked in his desk. And he asked me, he's like, do you know where the key is? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, did you lose your key? And he's just like, maybe. And I'm like, are you trying to hide your shame? You don't need to hide your shame from us, because if you open up his like drawers, it's just like bottles. And I'm like, there is a recycling bin right over there. What are you doing? So
dude,
just be like bottles and bottles and bottles. And I'm like, dude,
it's quick. It gets out of hand very quickly. Speaking from somebody who like I actually right now is actually okay. I'm looking around like I think I've done a recent cleanup, but before you know it, it's like I don't know. You just it can get a little nuts.
Believe me.
Do you want to, because we could go on and there's so much I want to talk to you about, but I wanted to jump into the E3 thing. And this is special because this is the only time, you're the only person I'm doing this with directly, because I'm not doing another like 3 episodes of E3, like where we did like the 3 or actually 4 predictions. What I'm going to do is at the beginning of this episode, I will have already gone through the results of the other ones, but I haven't done that at this point in you and I talking. But I want to let you know, I'm pretty stoked from what I found. From what we did. Okay, so why don't I'll jump back in. This is about as structured an episode as like a non-real E3 episode as I think it's ever gonna get. So we're gonna run through Nikki's because sorry Nikki, you didn't do so great, and I don't know if anybody like really stood a chance, to be honest, just because of the way that Sony did their E3. And so Nikki guessed a new PSVR, and it would be wireless. We all agreed. But didn't happen. Twisted Metal Remastered announced. Nope. Rocksteady. I was convinced we would see something from Rocksteady.
Right? I was waiting. I'm like, okay, they got to do this. No.
She said it was going to be Flash or Superman, and we gave her we gave her good odds. And for those who didn't catch the E3 episode, like, we have created the new standard for E3 predictions. I'm just saying. Throwing out these odds, hilarious.
Exactly. New
Vita, and of course Assassin's Creed Origins 2 or spin-off would be on stage. She was pretty close on that one, but it wasn't at Sony's conference. Before we get into yours, what were your thoughts on Sony's thing? Were you happy?
Like, it was one of those things where at first I was just like, bravo, like this is amazing, and then afterwards I'm just sitting there like, what just happened? like there was some great stuff. Let me tell you, there was like seeing more Death Stranding, super excited about that. And it's like a lot of mixed reviews right now because some people are like, oh, it looks like a walking simulator. And I'm like, I don't want to know anything.
Yep.
Like that's enough for me. Like I'm going to buy it. Like I already know that $80, $90, $100 is going to be taken out of my bank account. I'm going to play that game and be like, this is amazing. But that, and then it first started off with The Last of Us, so that was really exciting. But there was just like the 4 large ones, and then there was like, oh, here's a bunch of other stuff, but we're not going to really talk about it. So I was kind of upset.
It was like a bit of a snub, I felt like, to those, because some of those other things were a big deal. but it didn't feel like a big deal. And then the things that were a big deal felt like kind of muted because of the weird, awkward presentation. Yeah, it was very strange. I didn't like it. I personally did not like it. I think that everything that everybody's been saying why Sony won E3 in the past, none of those things existed here. But now they changed it up. And I applaud them because I have been saying this entire time, I don't love hit play on a video and just have like trailers, essentially. Or have like Sean Layden come out and go like, here's games, and then bye, and then they do the whole thing. I don't love that either. So I like Ubisoft's. Of course, I like Xbox's as well. But do you want to get into your predictions? Because you're not so bad, Fiona.
I know. Believe me. I messaged you that day when it popped up. I was losing myself. Okay, so first I said that there was going to be a Monster Hunter shown, and it was going to be introducing G-Rank. That didn't happen. However, they did introduce Final Fantasy and Monster Hunter, which is not what I guessed, but I'm not going to take points for that because that's just ridiculous. That entire thing was like, I was just like, oh, it's Monster Hunter? Like, that's a Rathalos. Like, what is going on? So that was no.
The best was when I was streaming with people and they're like, oh wait, Monster Hunter is Capcom. Like because maybe this is just a Western thing and people who just aren't in both of those worlds. Like that was actually a special crossover. It's not an easy thing. Like it makes less sense. Maybe it looked like it made a lot of sense when you watched it, but it wasn't it's not a natural thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not a natural thing whatsoever. I know, especially for like fan fiction stuff, it's definitely a regular thing just because. Okay. So it kind of seemed like it was we know y'all want this.
Oh, nice.
Here's like this kind of like, I haven't seen too much of it. A friend of mine kind of dabbles in that kind of stuff, so I hear through the grapevine kind of thing.
I love it.
But it's just, so it's kind of interesting. I was really excited for the people who are both Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy fans, just because they don't exist in the same universe, but they kind of coexist in the same type of genre.
Totally.
So
that's why it seemed like such a good fit for somebody who's not into Final Fantasy. I'm like, well, that makes sense, but wait a minute, not that much sense, but okay, it's great for fan service. I love it.
Yeah, so definitely, I think that was a really good. I'm definitely didn't win points for that. Death Stranding.
But the next one,
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
They didn't give us a demo. They didn't give us a release date. However, Walmart Canada, buddy, stop posting on your website that everything's coming out December 31st because you're getting my hopes up, and I'm really confused. And the fact that if I don't get Death Stranding by December 31st, I'm pissed. So please, Walmart Canada,
it's never going to happen.
I know. Like, seriously, that's either going to be at the very end of this gen or an opening of the next gen. Like, it's not... There's no way that it's coming out this year.
I actually feel like it would be the best bet. Like, I feel like that would be in line with what Nintendo did with the Switch, where you've got, like, if it is going to be the best game ever, you launch a console with that. You don't close a console with that. Like, what difference does it make? You've already won. Like, why would you even try to have that? You might even, like, delay it on purpose just so that it is ready for that last one. Like, who cares? You don't need it for this one.
I made a kind of a surprise appearance yesterday on the 30 Best Friends podcast because Mike broke his face. Rest in peace.
Oh no, the face.
Yeah, he like it was terrifying. Kelsey sent me a photo and he was just bleeding.
Oh,
like his like this, and I'm like, oh my god, are you okay? They were professional photos. They look like they just got like this like professional photographer coming in, and then oh god, that's just like off topic, but there's a photo and everyone's just like rest in peace, and he's just like he tweets this photo of himself and it's just like glowing aura of like light around him.
Oh my
and
god,
he's just laying in a I'm like, Mike, stop. Just stop. You're feeding the trolls. So that happened, but I mentioned it yesterday. I'm just waiting for Kojima to just come up on stage and be like, this is Death Stranding, and then be like, it's out today, and just like walks off. Like, that's
oh my gosh, yeah, that I could see it. Like, definitely like a short-term thing where I don't know, I could, but I also, based on what they've shown us already, like, it does seem like we're going to be on a journey for a little while, and people are going to get a little impatient for that date to come. So I don't know, man. But my hope is, I love pre-orders. I love pre-orders for games that like will never come out, because I still have a pre-order for Final Fantasy VII Remake from Best Buy Canada, and like God knows the way that retail goes in this country, that place is shutting down before that game comes out. So I'm gonna have to reset my pre-order for something.
I don't understand why Walmart Canada and Best Buy Canada are just like, we know this is supposed to be secret, but ta-da!
Whatever. I mean, we're
Here's
just
on our
figuring out this website. Like, how do you schedule a post? I don't know how to do that. Okay, so let's break this prediction down. You said I've got essentially 4 parts. You got Death Stranding. You said there's going to be gameplay. You said there's going to be a demo, and you said there's 2019. So that's 4 points for me. We gave you odds at 10. And so for me, you get half of that 10 points. So you got 5 points on that one. You good with that?
Yes, I'm good with that.
I'm good with that.
By all means, I'm good. I was full. Do you know what? I told a coworker of mine of this podcast, and I said, if we'll get into it later.
Hi, coworker. Okay.
Yeah, hi, coworker.
Hi, coworker.
Your next. I know it's good. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it because it's one of your predictions, so I'll just leave it for now.
Okay.
My next one, Fallout. What?
That was never going to show up on PlayStation stage. Come on.
I knew it wasn't going to show up, but it was so exciting. I was like, I just wanted a Fallout game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I need to put that into the universe and pray that a game comes out. And it happened.
Because this was before 76 was reviewed, like before they did their thing. Like we did this.
Yes,
I just want to remind people when we do our predictions super early, everybody. And so that was a great call. Like to be able to say we are going to get a new Fallout. So would you consider this to be a New Vegas type of game, or are we way off, do you think?
I don't think it's gonna be like New Vegas.
Yeah.
They constantly reference back to Fallout 4, and I think it's because it's the basis of like a lot of people's understanding of Fallout now.
Sure.
Because it was the PlayStation 4. Here's Fallout 4. So a lot of people may not have ventured back to the 360 or PC or PS3. PlayStation 3. My God.
Yeah.
It's
PS3.
It's a long day. So I was just like, Fallout's definitely that kind of reference point for people. So I think it's just like they constantly said it. I'm going to be honest. Like, if I don't get any points for this, I'm fine. Just the fact that I got to see Todd Howard walk on the stage, on Bethesda's stage, with the lights shining behind him like an angel out of heaven with all of these new games. And he's just like, hey, my name's Todd Howard, and here's Fallout 76. For 30 minutes, and then just like a whole bunch of other drops. And he's just like, oh, by the way, here's 2 other games that are coming out next gen, and then just walks away. I'm like, what a guy. I don't know.
He's the kind of game developer you want to bring home to mom. Like you want to introduce him to your family. He's so great. Like he's honestly like he's the type of person where I go, I'm so glad that he represents video games. Like on a real level, I'm just so glad that like the personality he has. One of these days, unfortunately, like the way that the internet is going, we're gonna find out that like he harassed somebody or something. Like I really don't want that to happen. I don't even want to put that in the universe. But right now, he is our angel, and he is maybe. Would you say he maybe is the closest thing to like a Western Kojima? Like, is he like that? Is he at that level?
Honestly, yeah, I think he is.
I think so
like,
too.
He's made such like. The second that you see Todd Howard walk out, you know what he's bringing. You know he's bringing either Skyrim, like a Elder Scrolls game. You know he's going to bring Fallout because he loves Fallout so much. And then he's just the second you just know who he is. Like that's the same thing with Kojima is the fact that like you're just like I know who he is and I know what games he made. There's a lot of different people from different products that you're just like, oh, who is this person?
Yep.
Like I don't know who it is, but I know Todd Howard. And Kojima is just like this kind of like, here's my brainchild. And I know that Fallout is so much more than Todd Howard, but you know when he comes on stage at E3 that he's bringing something.
Just love that guy. Yeah, I could go on and on about him. He's an incredible human being.
Honestly, love you too. Love you so much, Todd Howard. Okay, there's one point that he comes on the stage, like when he was on the stage and they start playing the banjo, like when they're playing Country Road.
Yep.
I'm like, I just want him to sit down in a chair, pull out a banjo and be like, let me tell you a story and just start playing. I'm like, that's the only thing that could have made that so much better.
I want him to host all the conferences, to be honest. Like the way he presents. Anyways, Todd Howard is amazing. A+ person, 0 points, unfortunately, for Fiona on this one.
I don't care.
Your next one, you want to go into it? I was disappointed here.
I was so mad about this.
Yeah.
Because I got really excited because we got to see Resident Evil 2 remastered. We're kind of seeing more of the horror genre on the main stages. And I'm like, Until Dawn is such a PlayStation classic at this point. Like, if you think of like just strictly PlayStation like horror games
Mhm.
and things like that. Until Dawn is definitely one of the top things I think of, and that's one of the only horror games I ever finished, and I want to go back and play more of it
Mhm.
just because I'm a glutton for punishment. So it's just like I was so sad when they didn't release anything, but it might be one of those things where they're either waiting for PAX or they're going to wait until 2019 or maybe just wait next gen,
Mhm.
because I know that they dabbled in is it Carnival of Blood? It was a VR game that they came out with that was on PSN for free. It was a PlayStation game, but they had like elements of Until Dawn in it.
Oh.
So yeah, oh god.
Not the Impatient though.
No. This is like, it's actually like a carnival ride. So you go on a roller coaster in VR, and then it's just like you see a Wendigo pop out at you. And then
Oh
just,
my
like,
god. No, thank you.
Honestly, I would prefer that over Resident Evil 7. So I mean,
Both no. Both hard nose.
both knows. So yeah, no, there was no Until Dawn.
No.
Like, no, honestly, like, I don't know many of you viewers know like how creepy Canadian like history is. Like that kind of like the Wendigo is it like an actual like First Nations like creature that. So like things like that are terrifying, and it's like it was kind of an introductory to people. Like here's like some creepy thing from a nice place, Canada. Like we're only known for maple syrup, Tim Hortons, and hockey. I think.
And us.
And us. Yeah. The many times that I say sorry, and then people are like, "Oh my god, you said sorry," and I'm like.
I'll take it. Yeah. Honestly, I'll take it. It's better than like something way. There's got to be something way worse we could be known about.
That is true.
Like saying about weird.
I say about weird sometimes if I get frustrated. It is because it's from the East Coast. Like you live in like Atlantic Canada, and you start saying like it's about there. Yeah. Like a boot.
Yeah, you're just rushing. You're just rushing through it. I get it. You're just trying to get to the point. That's all.
At least I'm not from Newfoundland or Cape Breton.
There you go.
But no,
it's good times out there.
Good times, but I got 0 for that. Definitely.
You get 0 for your next one as well, Fiona. I'm sorry to say.
Abzu. The giant squid. What makes me frustrated is I've been watching their Twitter, and they're hiring so many people right now. So I'm like, you guys have to be making a new game. Like, you're not hiring these people just to sit around. So it's going to be either PAX or 2019 that they're releasing a new game. They're probably waiting for next gen at this point because Abzu did really well. Did it really?
That's good.
I've seen it be like free games. Like whenever I mention it to people, at least around here, it might just be kind of like in the area that I live in.
I'm sure it did totally fine. I think Journey was just like absolutely nuts. So that's kind of like the standard for a lot of people with that type of game. But it's not. Absolutely. That's not reasonable. So 0 points. You totaled up for a 5 point. Yeah, that Death Stranding calling gameplay, good one. Because I even think, again, I'm trying to remember, but I feel like that was still before they said, like, the style. I think we were doing these predictions before they said, these are the 4 games. So, like, we weren't trying to work within, like, that context either.
Yeah, I think I was kind of disappointed when they said, oh, we're just going to be showing these 4 major games, and then, like, maybe sprinkle, like, an indie game here and there. So, like, that was, and, like Sean mentioned, it was, like, we recorded this almost a month and a half ago. And then we did not know that they were just going to show 4 games and a few other things sprinkled around. So
I think I like this style though for like PSX. though. Like I just feel like it's not E3. Like I just think that the ginormous nature of E3 sort of dictates a more blockbuster type of presentation, like a more bolsterous and I don't know, bodacious type of show. I like they said that they were trying to get away from like the shallow type of shows, and I was like, well, that's about as pretentious a comment and public statement as you could ever make, but which is exactly what everybody was thinking when they were watching this, was pretentious. But
Bethesda did really well. They just had people come up on the stage and say, hey, here's like, if your games are really good, and I think that's what they relied on. They're just like, we'll put a lot into Last of Us 2, we'll make that like community hall church thing, and then we'll have a person play the guitar on stage for like 5 minutes, and then that's going to be our flash. And I'm like, honestly, like, I was excited for Sony, but honestly, like, Bethesda did better.
Oh, wow.
So, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I'll quickly run through mine. There's not a whole lot to say except for the fact that I am still the same PSN name now that I was before we started all this business, so 0 points on that one. I thought there was going to be a special Fortnite deal and that PlayStation would announce crossplay. Quite the opposite. I mean, depending on what you want to call that special deal, that it is. I love the Kaz Harai tweet that they announced another exclusive. Your Epic account is exclusive to the PSN. What a nightmare that is. 0 points. I get some points here. Full points. I got this whole prediction right. I said Remedy will be on stage. It's not Quantum Break 2, but it's similar. And I feel like that is bang on. That thing looks a lot like Quantum Break 2, to be honest.
It looks like a phenomenal game. Like
I know, but Quantum Break is good too.
I was excited. I was just like, good job, Sean.
Yeah.
Like,
were you reviewing predictions while it was happening?
Yes, I have it all written down, by the way.
I know,
so,
I couldn't remember. Like, I mean, I thought I called it, but I mean, who knows? I've been saying a lot of crap lately.
Honestly,
but that was a documented prediction.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I was just like, good job. I'm really excited about this. So
you guys gave me some points for that one. I got 7 points. I got the whole shindig. So
you did.
Hooray. The next one, totally useless. This may just been trying to fill 5 predictions. I said Vita games playable on PS4 through PS Now, including Freedom Wars and what else did I say? PS4G. I don't know what that means. I think I was just writing letters. And the last one, PlayStation All-Stars 2. New Kratos, Aloy, Joel, Nate and Sully, and Crash are in this game. Just grass-met straws. And you guys were not giving me points for that. You're like, I think that could probably happen. Like, if I got that right, I would have only got 6 points. And that is BS.
Here's the thing. It's because how Smash Brothers is so freaking popular that I was just like, you know what? Like, if they do, now I'm thinking back to it, if they really want to do something that, like, silly, I think it's going to be, like, beginning of next gen.
Yeah.
It's going to be, like, here, it comes with your PlayStation, and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like one of those bundle deals, so...
Well, because they're probably taking this whole generation to realize, like, oh, crap, look at all these people. Like, look at all these characters that would actually go into a game. Like, that's really only happened within recent memory. That realization, I think. Like, Aloy, they didn't know if that was going to be a big deal, but it was massive. And now Kratos, of course, like, way bigger than anybody expected. So,
so good.
Maybe we'll have Norman Reedus in there.
With the baby?
Yeah. Maybe we'll...
It's so creepy!
Oh, my gosh. That baby's going to have some, like, crazy finishing move. Just wrap the umbilical cord around somebody's neck and give him a little thumbs up and crawl up his butt.
I would only accept that if Norman Reedus then just says boy, like Kratos.
Yes, they all just mix and match. It'll be amazing.
There you go.
Fiona, I don't know if for those keeping track at home, that's a win for me. I got 7 points to your 5. But I think that's pretty good, to be honest. Like, we look back and, like, a lot of people just come up with fat goose eggs on these things.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. This is the first time ever that I lost to you in the 3 years that we've done this.
That's true.
And so, yeah, congratulations.
It's a proud day for me.
I'm going to be honest, I feel like I still win because Fallout. So, I mean, for me, that's a personal win.
This is where I would love if you just like, and that's why I created myself the certificate of winning. Where
I should have done that. I should have, like, oh man, I have an actual, like, Fallout mug. I should have just been, like, sipping it the entire time, just being like, it says Nuka-Cola on it. Just being like,
God,
hello.
we should get some of those. We got a lot of Fallout stuff around here. I would love that if all of you just have like awards like on your walls and they all just have like asterisks at the end, like little disclaimers, just like this is a victory, but with these special conditions.
I need to do this next year. I'll do that next year.
You should do that as your streams continue to go up, and every time. Not that you'd actually need disclaimers. This would be legit. How is everything going over on the Twitch channel?
It's going good.
Yeah.
I haven't streamed this week just because it was 3 week, and so I was kind of bouncing around. And I actually surprisingly did more this week than I expected when it came to like doing stuff in the community. I did a live cast with OK Beast on Wednesday.
You did.
Oh my god, that was ridiculous. Oh my god, my cat. Oh my god, I got a new cat 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
And my old cat hates this cat, and so like you just hear as Alex Van Aken described it as a lion broken vacuum cleaner was just like right. And so I would just have to mute myself, and they're just like, "What the fuck was that?" And I'm like, "It was." They're like, "Fiona, is that your cat?" I'm like, "Yes," and I mute myself, and I'm just like trying to deal with them in the background. I'm like, "Stop!"
Just Canadian wildlife right there in the living room.
Oh my god, what a crazy cat. So yeah, it was that, and then yesterday.
What episode did you end up doing with them? What conferences were you guys chatting about?
We discussed everything.
Yeah.
So it was what our 3 favorites were. Just kind of discussing like how we felt overall. What our like we didn't get into too much, just because they did have 3 different segments. Which congratulations, blessing for dealing with people for 3 hours.
No kidding.
That was insane. Like I was just sitting there and like as someone who streams for copious amounts of hours at once, I'm like the ability to like talk to people for that long and be able to keep people like entertained and active is insane. So congratulations on that. So I did that, and then yesterday we did the 3 best friends because Mike broke his face. Rest in peace. That was just a running gag that he died. He did not die, guys. Mike did not die.
I'm glad you clarified. People were probably very concerned. Yeah, they're already sending flowers.
Oh my god, yeah. So definitely not dead. We discussed our 3 favorite games that were announced. And then we discussed one thing that we were hoping to see at E3. And I said Abzu for my prediction because I was really upset. Because I was really excited. It's okay because there is Sea of Solitude that just came out.
Yep.
That's coming out, which looks phenomenal. So I'm super pumped about that. But
I love a little high five over to EA. You don't really get a whole lot of love going over to those guys.
That was the only love. The only love.
Oh, come on, Anthem. Come on, man.
Okay. I mean, Anthem looked really good.
Yeah, Anthem looks amazing.
But I mean, the sports. I was just like, I was sitting there and just like, there's a lot of sports going on. It
wasn't too bad.
And I'm like, okay. You don't think that...
It's been worse. I mean, here's standing next to a trophy. People said they didn't want you to bring out like an athlete, so they brought out a trophy. Like, be happy, everybody.
Oh my god, it's just like, hey,
look at the shiny thing.
Star Wars game. We have
that was awful. That was awful.
We have a new Star Wars game. I'm like, dude, don't do that. Like, just don't. Do not do. Like, you look like you're just like telling a secret. You're just like, guess what I have in my pocket.
He acted like he was like surprised that this segment was going to be a thing. Like, dude, you were like, it's all rehearsed, like it's all scripted. Like, just come out and say it. What are you being so weird about this for?
Yeah, like you should wait until 2019, and then the next person who's hosting that year comes over and says, "Hey, let's discuss. I heard that you were working on a Star Wars game," and then he's just like, "Yes, it's called this," and then they show a trailer. Please, for the love of Pete.
Know.
It just sounds like, oh yeah, I definitely worked on my homework. It's at home, but look at my cool project, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I could say like I made the best game ever, and it's like 7 years of Harry Potter. Like congratulations, people who wanted a Harry Potter game. It's not here with me.
I know,
but I'm sure, wink, that it's gonna come out.
Do you think Harry Potter's gonna have like some sort of like comeback, like a resurgence to the zeitgeist?
Here's the thing, like a lot of people were showing their frustration with, I'm sorry, Harry Potter Mysteries, the mobile app game.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of people still interested in Harry Potter.
Sure.
Thing. So I know for myself, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. So I've been a fan since, good God, how long have I? Like since I was 6.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk about
that's a lifelong thing.
That's a lifelong thing. So it's kind of like I want a good Harry Potter game, but I'm not keeping my hopes up at this point. I can just relive the early 2000s one where you got to play Quidditch. That came on a disc, and that was it. Just because they haven't been really able to rekindle that magic on an application. Like they put so much effort into Pottermore, which some people are interested in, but
What's Pottermore?
Pottermore is a website. No. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just a huge nerd. So Pottermore is a website that you can go on to, and you get to live through the stories, and you get to like get actually sorted, not like the actual mobile app game where it's just like, what house are you in? And then it's just like, are you in Ravenclaw because you're creative? Are you in Slytherin? I'm like, I want a quiz.
Right? Is that
what pretty much. So it's just like they have like a lot of cool stuff. So if you see like people, if you go on YouTube and you're like Sorting Hat, people go onto Pottermore to do that, or find out what their Patronus was or things like that. If you're a Harry Potter fan, that it's essentially it's like stuff like that. I don't know why. I'm just like really interested in super nerdy things, and then other things I'm like, what is this thing you speak of? Cool.
Well, that sort of like expands out into like all of your gaming as well. Like I've always appreciated your level of gaming is like amazing to me. Like you come up with, I remember now I'm totally blanking on the name. It's now on Switch. It's Darkest Dungeon, I think.
Yes.
I remember seeing you stream that. I feel like 2 years ago, something like that. It like you like just this totally abstract, totally weird game. Never seen it or heard of it before. But like you're into like the fantasy, like the like high fantasy even of where. It's not only like the setting that's interesting, but like the gameplay I feel like is difficult and hard. Is there anything in that area that you've been kind of playing lately or catching your attention?
So I know when it came to E3, I was really excited about the Gears tactics.
Yes!
So I was actually like, okay, I'm not a huge fan of Gears of War. I only played it once, and I had that gun that you shoot, and then there's like the thing that comes down from the sky and then blows everybody up.
Oh yeah.
So I played that once, and I shot myself multiple times. I just like would just play with my friends and then just shoot it upwards. So I would just blast myself into oblivion. But
Amazing.
It was so weird. So that really piqued my interest. I was really excited because XCOM 2 is free this month.
I know. I thought of you as soon as I saw that announcement. I'm like, that's a Fiona celebration. Everybody gets to play it now.
It's so good. It's such a good game. I love kind of like turn-based like games like that. It just kind of it takes a lot of like mental like just thinking about it rather than like hacking and slashing, like running around. And I'm not saying I don't like that. It's just a matter of you just kind of have to think like, okay, so if I attack with this, then tactical is 100% the word for it. So I'm really excited about that. But no, I was playing Gears of War. And then, not Gears of War, God of War. And then I got motion sickness from playing it. And now I'm really upset. So it's because my prescription, and I'm not wearing glasses, but I should be wearing glasses. My prescription's a little bit off. So my depth perception is really off. So if I play God of War, I'll just be sitting there and I'm like, I feel terrible right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sitting here, I'm on stream, and I want to be sick. And then I like walk away for a little bit and you're like, oh, like the first time I ever noticed that was Doom, because Doom is a huge like. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really excited about the Spider-Man game, but the idea of like swinging around and stuff like that, I'm like, I will watch someone else play this game because I can't handle this.
So even like watching somebody else play is a little better. Like it's.
Oh yeah.
Like it's if it's you playing, you're in it kind of thing. Like you're. I don't know. That's kind of separation.
I don't know. I've always had that like kind of connect like the problem disconnecting. So what happens is that, like I can watch someone play a horror video game, like that's fine, like I'm just like,
and you're not scared or anything.
No, the second I'm in the game I'm like, please kill me. Like why is that? Why? And it's just like, oh god, if anyone's ever like anyone listening watched me play Resident Evil 7, it was a train wreck. It was 45 minutes of me being like, and I apologize for my language, this bitch isn't worth it. Like, I'm sorry.
You just apologize for bitch.
I cannot. It's not worth this. Like,
oh my
if
god,
I like went to a house and the love of my life was in that house, I'd be like, well, that's too bad.
Man, I really thought I was really bracing for a see you next Tuesday, but man, I'm glad you warned me.
No, it's because like I generally try not to on your podcast, so I'm like, okay, because I said that, and then honestly, I was playing VR, and I was following her. Oh god, I'm not gonna spoil anything because I did not make it anywhere in that game. I was following her in the basement, and I ended up squatting. So you just see a bunch of blood on my stream, and I'm like, she's really not worth it. Like, I don't understand. So I was crying the entire time.
Like real crying, like ugly crying.
I had the VR on.
Oh no, just like shorting out. Like drowning in your eyes are drowning in their tears.
I was just like, I'm so happy I didn't wear like eye makeup because I'm like, just like the amount of like tears and sweat because like my office is really hot. So you're just like, I'm dying with this freaking thing on my face. And I'm like really scared. I haven't finished it. I need to go back, but I probably won't play in VR, which I do not get motion sickness from VR, which is super weird.
I did a little bit, depending on, like, I tried Microsoft's sort of, like, weird PC AR thing that they had going on a little bit. I got a little, it wasn't exact. It was kind of choppy, so I understand, like, what what people are talking about, you almost kind of have this like reaction where you're like, just tough it up. Like it's not about that. Like it's about like your brain doing these weird synapse things and just like throwing your stomach upside down.
Yeah.
So that sucks that God of War kind of threw that out of whack for you a little bit, because I'm really I did this thing. I've discovered a new thing about myself, Fiona.
Okay.
This is very important for me, probably only me. Actually, I did tell a friend to do this. So I started God of War. I got a couple hours in, but like it was mostly made up of like I think about a dozen half an hour to 45-minute game sessions. Like just like whenever I could try like get in, just with Lincoln and everybody. I didn't have like that nice 2 to 3 hour session to get into it and figure out what is this game about and all that other stuff. So over the course of like 2 weeks, I'm like only really on a couple of hours. I think I saw the witch lady, and that was it. And I didn't get too far, and I'm like, I'm just not connecting with this game. And I felt like it was because I'm just kind of like scratching along. I started over. I deleted my save game. I started over. I had a nice... My first time with it this time was 2 hours, and I'm loving it. Like I am all in. I want to play that over everything else. And so if anybody who's calling me an Xbox fanboy, I'm talking about the other gal. So what's up? So I'm loving it, man. Like so I'm sad that it's not. So what do you do in that case?
You
just
gravel.
Just
take it back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just suck it up, and then I'm just like, and then I'll take breaks because those streams I'll be like, okay, I'll sit here for 45 minutes, take 15, like a 10-minute break, and then I'll just feel like, in the summer it's not really easy because if it's cool weather I can handle it, but if it's like hot and you're getting motion sickness, you're like, this isn't gonna end well. It might make for really great content for people,
True enough.
like, no. I mean, like, I don't know the regulations on being sick on stream.
Yeah, just throw like the sound of vomiting is perfectly fine. I think you just can't see chunks.
I'm absolutely mortified by it, but I mean, like, yeah.
Have you ever thrown up in front of people before? Like
Once.
not on screen, yeah.
Once it was so, oh god, this entire conversation.
Because I have too. If you didn't, I was gonna at least come and go like, well, I've done it, so like whatever.
No, it was 2 years ago because this was right before I got my surgery, before your stream that I did. I had emergency surgery, without going into too much detail. And I was sitting with the nurse, and I had to explain what I was feeling like. And she's just like, "You're gonna be sick, aren't you?" And I'm gonna be like, I just nodded. I'm like, "Yes, I am." And she's like, "Here's a bag." And I'm like, and then I just lost it.
And for her, it's like a nothing thing, and you're like, "Oh,
yeah, she was just
mortified."
like,
yeah.
I was mortified because I'm terrified of that stuff. Like I get petrified and things like that. So she's just like, "Okay, put this tab under your tongue and then you'll be good for the rest of the day." And I'm like,
wow.
Oh. Yeah, which weirdly it helped. Like the rest of the day I'm like, okay, this is my life now. Just like, so yeah, it was really weird.
You said not to get too much detail. I don't know if you're saving me or saving yourself, but how are you doing? Like, can I ask how are things?
Oh,
yeah,
100%. So essentially what I had was something that it's called Meckel's diverticulum, which essentially means that there is a tag, going back to like Death Stranding, haha. When you're a baby and you have like the umbilical cord, a little piece was still connected to my intestine, and it got turned a little bit. So essentially my intestines got twisted. And so yeah, that was fun. I'm fine now. Like 100%.
that stayed all the way up through adulthood?
Yeah, and it shouldn't. And I used to complain as a kid. I'd be like, I'm not feeling well, and my mom would be like, you don't want to go to school, do you? And I got tests done, and everyone was just like, you're fine. And then just one day I like woke up and I'm like, I have never been in this much pain in my life.
Oh my gosh.
And then I went to the doctor, and they're just like, one thing that was really creeping me out was like, are you pregnant? I'm like, no. And they're like, but are you? I'm like, no. And they're like, are you sure it's in your chest? And I'm like, yes. What is going on? Like, why do you keep on asking me these weird questions? And then the doctor came in. I went in at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. At 1 a.m. in the morning, they said, we need to get you into surgery or it could get worse. And I'm like, okay, so like, this is happening.
Thank God, like these are stories that happen quite often. I feel like, thank God you're in a hospital when they say like the moment is now, like where you need to get into a hospital or get into surgery. Thank goodness you're there.
Yeah, I was freaking out because they're just like, they explained it to me and they said, if you delay this, it essentially could kill portions of your intestine, and that could cause like lead to much graver circumstances. And I'm like, okay, if this is happening, I called my mom, who didn't pick up. I called my sister, who instantly picked up, and then she freaked out, and she lives in Calgary. So she's just like, oh
I'm
my
on
God.
my way.
She's just like, what? And I'm like, I'm fine. So then I went in. My mom freaked out at everybody. Mm-hmm. She tried to call the hospital. She like everything else. And I'm like, I'm out of it. Like, it was 6 a.m. before I like woke up, and I'm like, hey. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. I do still like, without getting into detail, I have like a scar from it now. And it's not even like a small one, because people who are like, I got my gallbladder out. It's like I'm like, congratulations. I had 36 staples. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was interesting. It was it's okay now. Like, this is forever ago. But like the second that they're like, you have to change your own like bandages, I'm like, okay. I cried in the hospital. One of the residents had to get the doctor to come back and change it. And then I went home and did it for the first time, almost passed out. Mm-hmm. It was pretty interesting. So it was definitely an interesting experience overall. And I keep on saying interesting because it's one of those things where you look back and you're like, that actually happened.
What else can you say about it? Like, really, you don't go like, well, that really just made me a better, like, no, I would have been a fine person without that experience. That would have been great.
Oh my God, I was just terrified. Yeah. I think I was just like the entire time. And I was actually in the cardiac unit forever because they didn't have any space in the hospital, because as great as free healthcare is, guys, because Canada. So I'm just sitting beside this woman who just had cardiac surgery. Mm-hmm. Lovely lady. I don't know what happened to her, but she was lovely the entire time. But just like, I was just like sitting there crying, and she's just like, sweetie, it happens. And I'm like, oh, and she's just like, and she told me about her kids and everything else. And I was just like, okay, this is not so bad. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was definitely, I know it's a completely off game topic, but yeah, it was definitely an experience that made me realize that things can happen really fast. So yes. It was really eye-opening at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also stomach open? Is that too soon? Stomach opening? Eye opening? Nope, never mind. Bad joke. No, terrible. Well, man, holy crap. I'm glad that you're open to share that though. Like, it's always, I don't know. I'm like, are we gonna dive into this? Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm okay with it. It makes, like, I realize that, like, it makes me realize that when people are like, oh, I'm in a lot of pain, I'm like, go to the hospital. And they're like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm like, just go to the hospital. Like, just, you might go in and they're like, you're fine. That's great. Yeah. Like, we're really lucky to be in Canada because we can go in, get an appointment, talk to a doctor, and then not get charged for it.
Yeah.
And then Americans, they go in and then they have to pay $500 for even going in and getting stuff done. So it's just like, we're really lucky.
Treating like your health like a plumber, like if I've got like a leak on my like sink or something, I'm like, that guy's gonna charge me $200 just to walk in the door. Like, people do that with like their innards, like with their health. Yeah, that's nuts.
It's really creepy. Yeah. Like, there's other places in the world that have free healthcare. So I don't know. Anyway,
that's a whole. I wanted to one of the last things I wanted to chat with you about is the community. So I feel like maybe just all of a sudden, there's a new wave of kind of funny podcasts and content creators. Like, I know Kaylee's doing her thing, and the three best friends, and Kyle's got his kind of funnies talk funny. Like, all of these different things. Like, what is going on? Like, you're on the front lines. What's happening? What are you seeing?
So there's Slay, which is a all-female D&D podcast.
Amazing.
Yeah, like, that's such a great idea. Obviously, there's OK Beast that came out of the gates last month with their Patreon. Congratulations, guys! They're over $350, I think, at this point.
Well deserved.
So they're just like, oh god, those guys are so great. Like, I constantly like retweet them, and I'm like, I probably seem like a weirdo, or maybe like one of those parents that's just like, look at this, like, this is so great, because I'm like constantly posting on Twitter. I'm like, yes, these guys are killing it.
They really are.
Them, obviously, Irrational Passions is definitely still around. You guys, obviously,
no, not in that same conversation, but anybody you can get, like, just throw a word over to Alex. Hi, buddy. I notice. I would love to talk to you sometime.
Oh my god! First of all, I don't even talk to Alex at all, but I will message him and be like, Alex, you need to be on this podcast. I would
love to chat with him. He's a very and from like outside looking in, very interesting to me, because he looks goofy as hell, and then he gets him on the mic, and you're like, And that's all I comment on. I was like, he looks like he's having a good time, is what I'm saying. And then he gets on the mic, and it's like, holy crap, the brain in that head is incredible.
It's so weird. Like, when he was on the OKB's, like, live cast, I'm just like, dang, boy.
I know.
Like, this is, oh, God. There's, like, some people in the community that I'm just like, I could sit there and just, like, listen to them talk. And I'm like, Alex, come on, buddy. You're just, like, so, I don't even know what to say. Just so good. But there's, like, so many different podcasts that are popping up, like you said. So there's Kyle's podcast, obviously. There's Three Best Friends podcast, Slay, OK Beast, Irrational Passions. Oh, God, there's so many of them. And then there's a bunch of others that I've been seeing on the Facebook group. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I cannot imagine a better community to be a part of gaming-wise, because there's just so many people that come together because of Kind of Funny to make these podcasts. Like, a lot of these podcasts wouldn't exist. Like, Play wouldn't exist. OK Beast wouldn't exist. None of them would exist. Yeah. None of them would exist. That's so crazy. So,
well, not only is it, so there's two things in my mind. I think that, like, Greg, and even going back to the Beyond days, like, a lot of us owe a lot of like our inspiration to back then. Wanting to do it is like the initial sort of inspiration, but then, like, the Kind of Funny community supports each other, like, so that you're not just making a thing, like, you were inspired and then making it for nobody to listen to. Like, nobody goes, how dare you create, like, how dare you even, like, try for it? Who do you think you are? Like, we actually have people who are intelligent and motivated and everything. Like, it is, I don't know, it's just so cool to me. And are you, like, how has your admin gone? Like, are you still, like, day to day? Like, I don't know how you sustain that over so long.
Yeah, so it's definitely one of those things where, like, at least for myself, I spend a lot of time at work. So I do end up having some times when I just have a few days period where I just don't get to.
Yeah.
But then we definitely make sure that, like, events such as, like, Kind of Funny Live, I'm not going this year, sadly. So I'll definitely be paying attention to the Facebook group. So we kind of have, like, that give and take. So, like, if some people are going to events, then a lot of us, like, pick up the slack, or, like, vice versa. And, like, it's just really nice. It's a great group of people. I think at this point we're up to 16. So I'm still the only person in AST, but I'm not the only Canadian anymore. I'm so upset, because I used to be the only Canadian admin, and I have to share it with Mike Fenn. Damn you, Mike. I'm just kidding. I'm so excited. I get to meet him. I get to meet him this year. He's coming to HellCon, which is, like, our regional kind of, like, like, what is it? Convention. That's what con means. Convention.
I'm glad it's not just me that, like, get tripped up on words that just, like, should be in there.
My God.
They're in there. I promise you.
Yeah. You're just like, is this a word?
Yeah.
Like, I'll just think about it. No, I get to meet him this year. Super pumped about that. So no, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I have the opportunity to, and I've been making a very, very conscious effort in the past month and a half to just, like, constantly be, like, checking out people's streams in the community, making sure that I'm listening to podcasts. I've been listening through all of A+ Anime, which is freaking amazing.
I love it.
I love it so much. So I constantly am listening to that. I've been listening to, obviously, your podcast. I've been trying to get into Irrational Passions and Slay and, like, things like that. And you're just like, I'm never getting bored.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there was a certain time where, frankly, I just kind of, like, thought, like, okay, I just kind of need to take a break. But then, like, a few months ago, I'm just like, you know what? Someone called me out on it. They're just like, you never go to anyone else's streams. And I'm like, I take that challenge. And now I just watch people's streams all the time. I'm like, my auto host list is like 15,000 now, because I'm like,
oh, that's nice.
So I'd, like, try to auto host, and if I can, and if people post it on the Facebook group, I'll try to go and follow them. And if you want, guys, and this is an open invitation, if you stream, please message me at my Twitter handle, and I would love to check you out. So
I love it. Okay, this is the last thing that I want to chat with you before we part ways once again. But I always this is the open invite anytime on the show.
Yay!
And honestly, I would even love to do because this is almost too limiting. Like, there's not enough openings for, like, me to get to everybody all the time. But I want to do a thing, like, where, and another part too is that our time zones, Fiona. Like, it just sucks. We're so far apart in this world.
I know.
But I want to do more like I don't know what the word is, maybe like pod stream where we play games and like podcasts together. Like I think that's gonna be a thing.
Dude,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I'm shaking my mic. Rest in peace.
I want to do pod streams.
I want to do pod streams so badly. Like that's actually been something I've been thinking about because I'm like, man, like I don't have my own podcast. Like I jump around in different people's podcasts all the time, and I'm so grateful, and I love having people. Like my favorite times when I stream is when I'm with other people.
Yeah.
Like if I have someone else and I'm talking to them, that's like my favorite time to like actually be streaming because you can like bounce ideas off of each other. You can like have a lot of fun because it kind of gets boring when you're just sitting there and you're like, okay, so I'm going up here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just like, you kind of like.
You play by play for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
sometimes
yes,
the best is when I'm like, I actually sometimes play like this, where I'm like, oh, what's over there? Like it's not even like putting it on for the camera. It's like, ooh, what's this? Or like a lot of the reaction is very, all the reaction is very genuine.
I'm just like sitting at home. I'm like, oh my god, what's over there? And then like I just feel like, okay, no one's actually watching me right now, but it's so engraved in my head now. I'm just like,
for sure.
I have to do this.
I want to let you off the hook on one thing. You don't be so hard on yourself on the whole. And maybe this is the last topic that I wanted to bring up, which is you don't have to support everybody. Like I think that like there's this thing where like, oh, I checked out your stream, so you have to check out mine. And this is gonna sound like weird. This is gonna sound maybe a little crass to some people, but like I don't think I want to maybe just put it out there. Maybe it's just for conversation because I don't know that there's a right answer 100% on one side or the other.
Sure.
But like it's not necessarily an obligation. Of course, it's nice to do, but like I think you and I and a lot of people share this where we will check out, support, and everything that on an ongoing basis that like we like. Like it's not nothing is fake. Like anytime I'm like retweeting or sharing or like checking things out, like it's not like I'm not doing it to satisfy some sort of obligation. It's because like you're genuinely doing something awesome.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, like I constantly post about OKB.
Yes,
like it's just because I'm just like, I love their content. These guys are fantastic. They're my friends. I love like, and it's not me being disingenuous. It's not me being like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and post because they're like, oh, so cool. It's like,
and like they're super popular, so hopefully they'll return the favor. Like it's not playing. It's not like being political about it or anything. It's just
no, because that's too much time.
I totally agree.
That's too much of a fucking mind game. Like I don't have the time for mind game. Like, and when I went like going back to like my open invitation to like message me about like your streams, it's more on the lines of like, hey, I want to be able to check out,
introduce
and
yourself.
See if I do introduce yourself. I like meeting people. I like discussing. Maybe I don't get to check your streams out all the time, but maybe we get to play like a multiplayer game, like Fallout 76. Holy moly, am I going to be making everyone play that game with me? I'm going to be like, get on,
I'm
we're
on
playing this game. I'm just like,
you're
I
on the
want to
wrong
play
system though. You're going to be on the wrong system.
I mean, I will try my best to get.
Although we will have it. No, you know what? We probably will have it for PlayStation 4 because Chelsea will also be on the wrong system. I cannot play multiplayer games on this stupid PSN anymore. I can't support it. I just can't. I'm single player only on PlayStation. Although some people found out what my PSN is because of Epic. So thanks Epic. I'm trying to I'm not trying to be so public about it anymore. It's such a stupid ass name.
That's fair. Like I know for a fact that like and I apologize for like kind of going off topic. That whole Fortnite thing,
awful.
It's so bad. Like I kind of got the play-by-play mostly from Lauren. So Beasley, if you get know her in the community, she is like, I feel so bad. Like it's just so frustrating. I don't have a Switch. I need to get a Switch, and I know that's a whole other topic. But not being able to play with your friends because you have a specific console, it's just like, oh, like there's no reason for you not to give it to everyone. Like it makes no sense. You're just holding people
true
hostage.
Magic though when you actually see it in play. Like Chelsea and I, because she has a Switch, but she didn't end up downloading it. We're like, let's just try this out. And like to see her fire up her Xbox and me fire up my Switch, and we're in the same game, and it was like nothing. Like the game didn't go like, now you're gonna go over into Xbox land, or like there was no. Yeah. It wasn't jarring at all. It was seamless. It was so beautiful and perfect, and it's like this realization where you're like, this shouldn't be happening, but it is, and it feels like the future. And it's just
I'm gonna download it for PC so I can play with Switch.
There you go.
Because it just makes me upset, and honestly, I've been playing Realm Royale a lot more. I'm surprisingly gold rank, which makes no sense to me, which is apparently like 4 tiers. I
told you, you're good at games. You're good at games, Fiona.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh my god, my throat just like died on me. So yeah, I am kind of, and I now sound like I'm dying.
I'll save you here. So, man, this is the greatest thing about. Sometimes on the show, you fire up the call and you kind of like, how's it going? Blah 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 blah. And then like 5 minutes in, that's when the show starts. The show starts like basically like when the phone call started. Like that's the thing. And with that said, with that out of the way, hi Joseph, trophy room. We definitely didn't mention the trophy room. Hi Joseph, but that's all part of the Make Us Better thing. Man, what a great chat. Everybody can find you on the Twitter, where at one of my favorite usernames and Twitter handles ever.
It's Zeranix. It's Z for the Canadian viewers. For the Americans, it's Z URANIIX. That's on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. You can find me there. Once again, feel free to shoot off a message. Also, as a heads up, I am a co-captain for the Kind of Funny Extra Life. And this is it's where we raise money for the big, beautiful children. If you live in North America, you can choose your local children's hospital and raise money specifically for them. I know Kind of Funny specifically does it for the San Francisco Children's Hospital. I myself do it for the IWK, which is located in Halifax. If you're part of the Kind of Funny community and just want to help a good cause, please go to kindoffunny.com/extralife and make sure $1 is amazing. Like if you stream, or if you want to get into streaming, or if you just want to just spend a buttload of cash on Kind of Funny, it's a great cause. So
this is a great way, and this is a great for anybody who's ever wanted to start streaming. This is a great way to go, like, I need to do this because of this thing. Like there's a date, there's like, it kind of forces you into it. You can't just keep putting it off. You gotta raise the money for those big beautiful kids.
Absolutely.
Fiona, thank you so much for this. I had I cannot believe we just like an hour blew by. That was amazing.
I know. Every single time.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Was that not the best, Fiona? We definitely, I don't remember if we were talking about on the show or after the show, streamcasting is going to be a thing where one of us is going to be streaming. We're going to have a conversation like a podcast. It's going to be the best thing ever. I just had so much fun. I've been thinking about this conversation ever since it happened, to be honest with you. I just had such a lovely time. This show is amazing, guys, to meet such incredible people, all who love video games. And I've known Fiona for going on damn near, I can't even keep track anymore. 2-3 years. There's no way to count. There's no way to keep track. There's no way to know when she was actually the first, when she came onto the E3 episode 2 years ago. Fiona, you're incredible. Thank you for being on the show. The music from OC Remix going into that, I think, is amazing. Unfortunately, it's from Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog, Supersonic from OCRemix.org. Guys, go there. Go there every day. Enrich your lives with great music done and created by great people. Share the love. Let people know that you're listening to it and you enjoy it. I really like it. Did I mention that this episode is coming on a Thursday because you guys helped us hit a milestone at patreon.com/makeusbetter? It's all because of you. We get to do 6. We should be doing 6 episodes a month. 2 episodes where people come back. Your favorite guests, my favorite guests, the people who love being on this show, they come back thanks to you guys. So thank you for you who already do it. And thank you to you if you're even thinking about it. You might be thinking about it right now. Patreon.com, that doesn't sound too bad. A lot of people do Patreon. You might do Patreon for other content creators. Well, guess what? Make Us Better? A whole bunch of people. Joseph just bought Kyle a new microphone at the trophy room. It's amazing. Usually I say a whole bunch of other stuff, but all I want you guys to know is that I appreciate you, and I appreciate Dave Moore for hosting this stuff, and I appreciate Antonio Guillen for designing this stuff, and our artists, the drawers, Adam Leonard and Gary Gray. I appreciate you guys as well. I appreciate Josh Brandt for his Nindy Nation new podcast. Great name. I haven't listened to it, to be honest with you, but I appreciate Josh Brandt. I appreciate Nindies. I appreciate Lincoln for joining me at the start, but then understanding why I had to kick him off the show. I also appreciate Lincoln because he understands controllers. He understands when I give him a controller that's not going to do anything, and he reaches for the controller that is doing something. So God bless you, Lincoln. God bless you. I think it's time, not for Jason, because of this. We're going to be back on Monday, by the way, but here's Patrick Stewart at the drive-thru because he's in his car. Bah!
Hello, I'm Patrick Stewart, star of TV's Star Trek: The Next Generation, and the host of the documentary series MGM, When the Lion Roars.
Okay, that's fine, sir. Can I take your order?
Yes, you can.
And what is your order, sir?
I'll have a quarter pounder with cheese and a side order of fries
Would you like
and a fillet. Oh, fish.
Would you like a cold drink with that, sir?
Yes, yes. For the sake of the future of all mankind, I will have a small Sprite.
Okay, sir, that's $5.20. Could you proceed to the first window?
The first window. The first portal to a new dimension. One greater, one more wondrous than our own.
No, just the first window of the drive-thru, please, sir.
Yes, then so it is that I proceed to this window of which you speak.
Thank you, sir.
Approaching warp speed.
What the f***? Mate, did you just drive into the back of me?
Yes, it is so.
Mate, are you some kind of f***ing comedian?
I am Patrick Stewart.
Mate, get out of the f***ing car.
And so, with heavy heart, I hereby withdraw from the vehicle.
Mate, look what you've done to my f***ing Duco.
You accuse me.
Mate, f***ing A I do. Here's your order, sir.
What manner of burger is this? And these slivers of potato extract?
Hey, Chrome Dome, are you gonna f***ing pay for my car or not, mate?
I am under attack. I must reason with this.
Mate, you are talking out your f***ing ass.
And so it is that I bid you and your people farewell.
What a f***ing dead shit.